methodology is based on the trigger methodology, which makes you realize in a short span of time that what you are doing and that thing needs to change overnight.
उन्होंने यहाँ पे जो है ना एक नक्शा बनाया वाइट कलर से, यहाँ पे एक नक्शा बनाया वाइट कलर से, बाउंड्री बना दी। तो उसमें बताया गया कि जिनके यहाँ शौचालय बने हुए हैं वो ग्रीन कलर से उसको प्रस्तुत करें, और जो लोग बाहर खुले में शौच के लिए जाते हैं वो लोग पीले रंग से करें। तो सबने किया, तो वो जो नक्शा था, वो बाउंड्री थी, वो पीले रंग से भरी हुई थी।
सबसे साफ जगह कौन सी? तो हमने मंदिर वाला बताया। फिर उन्होंने पूछा कि सबसे गंदी जगह कौन सी? हम वहाँ गंदी जगह ले गए, वहाँ टट्टी वट्टी था। तो उन्होंने एक गिलास पानी मांगा, तो उन्होंने वहाँ से टट्टी के पास से मिट्टी और बाल दिया और पानी में डाल दिया, और हमसे पूछा कि ये आप पी सकते हैं? हमने कहा नहीं।
Sanitation is a topic, is an issue that actually cuts across the entire community. So we do need to get them together. The idea is to show them and get them to realize how dangerous it is to defecate in the open. There are different tools that we have. One is to ask them about what is probably the most beautiful spot in their village, right? So they lead us to that place. Says, okay, so that's very nice. How do you take care of it, etc. And then you walk them around, and we say we want you to show us all the nice things in your village. So they take us to the school, they take us to the temple, very spotlessly clean and all of that, and said, now take us to the most dirtiest spot in your thing. And some people we can see from the community will walk away and not join us. Some others will say, okay, we can go that way. Says, but why isn't everybody else coming? Says, no, that is not really a nice place. Why is it not a nice place? And they say, well, it's dirty. Said, really? Why is it dirty? And why don't you take care of it? Says, no, that's where people defecate. Said, really? Let's go see. And so then we go there and we say, oh, but why do you do that? And they say, but it's habit. Very few in the rural villages will be treating the water before they drink. So in a sense, we make them realize that they are actually drinking water that is contaminated by their own feces, right? And it's like getting them to realize that you are drinking, contaminated water, and that then is the repulsion that it brings about, causes the need for behavior change. So that's what we trigger. So the triggering brings about immediate behavior change, but the most challenging thing is sustainability. A lot of people after the triggering, if there isn't adequate follow-up and monitoring, they fall back on the old practices. So into our methodology, therefore, we have built in a monitoring mechanism and a monitoring by the communities themselves. So there are these committees from the community that wake up at 4 in the morning, because in the slum areas, in the rural areas as well, the communities, the men go for defecation early in the morning, right? And therefore between 4 and 6:30, there is a committee out there that go with sticks and whistles and would actually, because now we've charted out the areas that are identified within the village where people defecate, so they would be standing there and monitoring that no one is coming there to defecate. In the evening, most women in the rural areas would go after sundown, so that's another time when the communities would walk out. So if we are able to do this over 3 months, then we realize that in those 3 months, either they have found some way to construct their own toilets, right? Or else they have learned the method for safe disposal, which is also something that we teach them during the trigger exercises, right? So safe disposal is what we say, but we find that in a matter of 3 to 4 months, every household, and there is also a lot of peer pressure that comes about that leads to the other one wanting to have a toilet in the house, right? They are able to construct their own toilet, including the ultra poor, because what we do make them realize that it's not about the superstructure, it's about just having even a low cost or even a no cost option available to them. They use all kinds of indigenous material to do that, but they do construct their own toilets, right? There are government funds that flow in, and wherever we are working, we are telling them that that should not be the only trigger, that some grants will come in and they will construct toilets. We have converted that into an incentive scheme wherever we are working. You first construct the toilet, show us that you are using it, then we will ensure and facilitate your getting the grants from the government. Most of our work is by invitation. So even when we go into a state, for instance, we started in Haryana, the work was in 2 different districts, but because of the success in those 2 districts, 3 other districts within the state made a plea to the state government to say, no, we want to do that. The essential thing is to find a champion, right? So the champion has control over a certain geographical area. The trigger sometimes has actually worked very beautifully. Women have to wait until sundown. There are, going out into the open, sometimes long distances, is also very inconvenient. More importantly, it is dangerous at times. And therefore, we have been talking through our methodologies about bringing about dignity and removing shame. These are the 2 important things, dignity and shame. And that having a toilet indoors will bring about a change in the lives of women. In one village, a young girl was ready to get married, and the family was looking at an alliance with a boy from another village. So when the discussions went on and progress was made in the matchmaking, and the girl finally turned down the offer because the boy's family did not have a toilet in the house, and she was by now quite habituated to having a toilet in her house, and she refused. So, what we know is that the marriage was postponed, grants were given to the boy's family to construct a toilet, and then she did get married.